Scottie, what's it been like just this turnaround these last 6 games, the level of defense you've been playing as a team? It's got to be pretty satisfying. I guess, is it satisfying to be playing this level of defense?
Yeah, I would say it is satisfying, getting wins, but I feel like most importantly just being connected as a team and, working through things. I feel like we're just continually get better. Every play when we're out there in the game, we know we're focusing on that next possession or that possession that's going on. We're just constantly communicating, talking to each other of what our end goal is. We want to get stops over and over and over and don't get bored or be satisfied with getting that one stop. Just keep doing it over and over again. So I think that's the fun part about it, is how we grow as a team and how we're going to develop that mindset.
You mentioned both development and growth, and those were obviously two huge priorities for the team going to the season, process over results. But I'm wondering how much those two things are connected. Like how important do you think winning and competing is for development, as opposed to that stretch where you guys weren't winning many games? Do you feel like it's easier to develop in a competitive environment like this?
It all just depends on what's going on in the situation. Beginning of the year or throughout that stretch, we're losing a lot of close games. We're being very competitive. We're getting better from that. We're just preparing ourselves from that. When we had that stretch and we was just letting teams just run all over us and, we was getting bullied, that's not getting better. That's picking up bad habits. So, throw those bad habits away and just pick up great habits. Like I said, every single day we come into the gym, practice, game, no matter what it is. We got to just focus on that bigger picture and what we're trying to achieve out of that day. We want to grow. So if it's talking, communicating, trying to get stops, play defense, work on our offense, try to work on our pace, push the ball, we got to focus on those things and try to get better at it.
If you go back to that Orlando game, it's just like you soaking up a lot of possessions, guarding Paolo, and then these Atlanta games, especially when Jalen goes out, there's a lot of you at the rim causing chaos. How much do you enjoy, doing all the different facets of defense as opposed to just, being stuck in this is my role on defense?
That's the type of player I am. I came into this league with that mindset, and, that's how I always build myself off of. I feel like I'm a great defender. I feel like, it doesn't really get talked about enough, but, I feel like I'm a great defender. I guard whoever can play 1 through 5, guard whoever, like I said. That's what I pride myself on. That's what every time I step on the floor, that's what I'm ready to do.
Sorry.
What about Darko, do you think has allowed him to keep the trust and attention of this team? Because, sometimes you see teams, 16 or 17, they let go of the rope. Doesn't look like that's happened with this team. So what is it about Darko?
I think he does a great job. Darko does a great job communicating to us every day. He really cares about us, and I feel like that's what's most important. Him being able to build a relationship with us and each and every single player and care about their lives off the floor, I feel like that just brings a whole different perspective about him. We love him for that more than on the court. He cares about us as human beings. So we love him for that. I love him for that. And he just his spirit, pride, and everything he's about. He's a great guy.
What kind of defensive tone does Davion affect you guys?
Davion?
Yeah.
Davion? You say that question again, though?
What kind of defensive tone does he affect you guys?
Davion, he's coming. His mindset is always focused on defense. That's what he came into the league, and that's what he's going to show every single night. The way he guards the ball is probably the best in this league. It's really hard to try to go by him one-on-one defense. The way he moves his feet, his physicality, the way he uses his strength when he's guarding people and guarding these guards, to be able to body bump, move his feet, stay with them at any time. That's really important. That's real special. So to have those point guards, which is elite at this level, and him being able to guard them and be able to stop them, that's huge for this team.
Scottie, about today's event with all the coaches coming to learn from Darko, based on your experience, how important is something like that, transmitting the knowledge to coaches that will coach younger generations to eventually maybe reach the end?
This is super important. I remember growing up, all the coaches that affected my life, to be able to put me in this position where I'm in right now, giving me the knowledge and, just keep soaking that in each and every single day. It just helps for the long run. For them to learn from our coaches, these guys are experts at their jobs and been doing this for so long, and so many different paths and so many different careers that just led them to where they are right now. it's important. Like I said, I soaked in all the knowledge from when I was a kid and how important it was for me, and for them to be able to soak it in, and us being able to practice in front of them, it's just special. We had a lot of energy today. A lot of people was dunking the ball, being able to run up and down the floor. We were super excited.
Hey, Darko said on Thursday he was looking forward to those 2 games. It's almost like a playoff type.
Yeah, mini
series where
playoff series.
You're gonna, adjust your game plan game to game. Maybe take me through that a little bit. How do you think you've seen the coaching staff kind of administer that?
I think they did a great game plan from the first game, but we just really had to build on that. I think that first game we did a great job starting off the game. We had a little lead, but I think we got lackadaisical. We let them get right back into the game when there was life. We let them get back in there, hit some couple of threes they was running in transition. I think that second game, we took it to the next level. When we had that lead, we built on it, we grew on it. We didn't give up those extra possessions. We knew we needed to get stops over and over and over again, and that's what it took. So I think we did a better job second game on being able to, when there's life, to be able to just keep cutting it off. Even though we had some turnovers, run back, try to block shots, defend, finish the possession with a rebound, I think we did a great job of doing that better the second game. The first game, we gave them back some life where they were sending some shots. So I think our focus was better second game.
Other than Kelly going out this last game, the last few weeks, you guys have known who's going to be available and who's not, and maybe that's one of the stronger times that has been the case this year. For you, just individually, how much does it know? I'm coming out now. When I come back in, these are the guys I'm probably going to be playing with. This is how much does it help an individual?
I would say I know my rotations when I'm out there on the floor. I think our coaches does a great job communicating that before the game, after the game, just talking through it whenever we want to talk about it at practice or so. But I feel confident with any of these guys I step on the floor with. These guys put in a lot of hard work and effort each and every single day, and I'm confident when I step on the floor out there with all those guys.
Chris, Darko said on Thursday they want to treat those 2 games almost like a playoff setting and adjusting game plans. How do you think the coaching plan, what did you see from Darko and the staff in terms of adjusting game to game and you guys keeping up with that?
I think it's always hard to play a team twice. I think they make adjustment, we make adjustment, and obviously if whoever wins, try to come out the next game. So I think we did a really good job, seeing what we did well and trying to keep on that and, fix the little issues we had. Obviously we did a lot of turnovers, and also we're trying to figure out ways to, do less of the turnovers, get more rebounds. They came back with a better roster, obviously, with Clint Capella coming back and Lance. So, we had a lot of, cues that we wanted to work on, and I think we really did that. Especially the way we've been playing the last 6 games, I think we're getting things together.
The team came into the season pretty clearly prioritizing development over wins. But I'm wondering how much those 2 things are connected. Do you feel like it's a lot easier to develop in a competitive environment than it would have been, say, a few weeks ago when you guys were losing games pretty badly?
Not really. I think you just got to get the opportunity and the time. I think, especially with these young guys, the more they play, the better it gets for them. So I think, obviously, they get a lot on their plates right now. Obviously, playing against, sometimes they play against Trae Young, all-star player. You get Jacoby on it, Jamal, a rookie. They all get the experience. So I think that really helps. Even guys like me, Garrett, Bruce, we're getting better. Kelly, we're all getting better. So I think it's really good that we all find ways to help each other and make it important during the games.
What have you enjoyed most about playing with that second unit with the veteran guys, you, Bruce, and Kelly, as well as some younger guys and Jamal?
Well, with the younger guys, I think it's just kind of learning. I think you go to a learning curve with them and trying to figure it out what it is. And, with the mistakes that we're making and all, we get to, talk about it and get better through the times. I think that really helps. With the veterans, Bruce, Kelly, obviously Kelly can pass the ball and all. Bruce, really great cutter. We've seen Bruce play a lot of times already. So, just trying to find ways to be, with them and just see what I could bring to their games. Because obviously Kelly got the ball a lot, Scottie got the ball a lot. So I'm just trying to find ways to be, ready whenever the ball gets here, or, keep doing the little things I used to do. Offensive rebounding still gets there and play with a lot of energy.
You've played a ton of minutes with Scottie over the years in all sorts of different roles.
Mm-hmm.
it might be easier to notice him now because the results have turned. But do you, from the minutes you're playing with him, does anything really seem to have changed other than the results are changing?
No, I mean, like I said, the whole summer I grinded with Scottie. We played at TMC, we played everywhere, TMU. I don't remember one week that I didn't see Scottie this summer. You know, either it was 3 times a week, or we saw each other at least once a week. So playing with Scottie really helped me out. You know, I wanted that to happen because I knew I was going to spend some minutes with him. And going to Malaga, playing with a lot of guys there. Scottie was there too. So I really think it helps me out. Just it's been 4 years now. I think 4 years with Scottie. So first year was already working. 3 years in now, I think it's just better, maybe faster read, maybe a lot easier for me to see what he could do also, and just be at the right place at the right time.
How much do you appreciate, like in that Orlando game, he guards Banchero almost every possession in the Atlanta, especially once Jalen goes out, he's sort of that chaos agent on the back end. How nice is it for a teammate to know that you have this guy who's going to play 35 minutes a night who can sort of shift his focus to where it needs to go?
No, it's nice. Obviously, you're talking about the Magic, but even when we played Giannis, he started there, Boston, Jason Tatum, he's taking all those challenges, and I feel like that's what's great about Scottie is that obviously he's not just focusing on offense, which he's great at, but he's also helping us on defense. You can hear his voice. He's very vocal and all. And like I said, when we don't do whatever we're supposed to do as a leader, he's going to bring us up. And I think that's something that is always good to have as a leader, as the main franchise guy, is that he keeps us accountable.
Complete turn here. Obviously, the deadline's in 10 days. How you feeling heading up to it? Is it any different than in years past?
No. I think it's just the same thing all around. People are talking, and I'm just doing what I need to do.
Chris, aujourd'hui, il y avait des centaines de coachs qui étaient là pour apprendre de Darko, puis apprendre de vous, transmettre leurs connaissances à la relève. À quel point, si tu te bases sur ton expérience quand tu étais un jeune joueur, à quel point c'est important de faire ça, de transmettre?
Ben, je pense que le plus de coachs qui reçoivent la façon professionnelle de coacher, voir les coachs de la NBA et tout, je pense que ça va toujours aider. Comme j'ai dit, moi j'ai commencé tard, alors si un de ces coachs-là a des enfants qui ont 16, 17, des adolescents, je pense que ça peut les aider parce qu'ils vont recevoir la façon de faire un lieu. Moi je pense que ça aide beaucoup. Une autre chose que je me suis dit, c'est que 800 coachs dans une place, c'est sûr, il y a un qui va le mettre dans la NBA. C'est sûr, un qui va jouer au collège et tout. Et puis je pense que ça, c'est une bonne opportunité pour eux d'avoir la première expérience. Aussi de voir une équipe de professionnels en personne, je pense que ça peut aider avec les drills qu'ils font et tout. Et des fois, il faut juste que tu vois un peu de pratique puis te dire, OK, je vais mettre ça un peu dans mes pratiques et tout, puis ça peut changer.
Est-ce que tu penses qu'il manque de structure au Canada? Comme en Europe, par exemple, on repère les talents vraiment jeunes. Il y a comme une structure directe pour les amener jusqu'à l'étape professionnelle. Au Canada, c'est comme encore en développement dans les différents sports.
Je pense que je voudrais pas dire qu'ils les ont pas. Je pense que ça a pris du temps. Je pense que maintenant, gagner le championnat, ça a aidé. Je pense que quand les Toronto ont gagné le championnat, ça a aidé un peu parce qu'ils ont dit, OK, c'est possible. Puis là, maintenant, avec plusieurs joueurs de la NBA, moi, Lugans, Ben, je pense que ça aide beaucoup. Juste parce que là, maintenant, ils peuvent voir, OK, il y a 2-3 gars qui sont dans la NBA, c'est possible. Puis je pense que les centres sportifs et tout, le basket, ça en parle plus. On a l'Alliance qui vient d'arriver avec le CIBL. Alors, c'est pas que c'est pas là, je pense que ça a juste pris un peu plus de temps. Mais en ce moment, je pense que tu peux voir le développement. Moi, comme j'ai dit, chaque fois que je viens à Montréal, je fais des camps, puis ça a passé à avoir 50 à 100 enfants, à 500, 600 personnes qui veulent venir. Alors, je pense que ça a vraiment aidé.
Mais est-ce qu'il manque quelque chose? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de plus qui devrait être fait selon toi, selon ton expérience?
Peut-être une équipe de la NBA, je pense que ça aiderait, c'est ça.
Genre à Montréal?
Ouais.
Et pourquoi tu penses que les jeunes sont de plus en plus intéressés par le basketball par rapport au hockey, qui est encore le sport, là, mais
plus d'athlètes qui arrivent. Je pense que c'est beaucoup moins cher aussi quand tu penses aux équipements et tout. J'ai joué au hockey quand j'étais jeune, puis ça coûte cher. Alors je pense que ça aide aussi. Je pense que savoir que le basket, tu peux jouer plusieurs positions. Tu peux être grand, tu peux passer la balle, tu peux être un défenseur, tu peux être un shooter. Alors je pense que sachant qu'il y a beaucoup de places que tu peux aller avec, je pense que ça aide. Tu n'es pas obligé de juste être dans la NBA, tu peux le mettre à G-League, tu peux aller overseas, CBL. Je pense que juste le fait qu'il y a beaucoup plus d'opportunités, ça aide.
It was said at Chris Boucher.
Darko,
Yeah.
you know, before the first game in Atlanta, you said you wanted to treat this almost like a playoff series. You're going to make adjustments game to game. How do you think you guys did as a staff doing that, and how do you think your players absorbed those messages?
To be honest with you, I think it went really well. Our coaching staff is in second year together. We're continuing to develop our chemistry, to understand each other, to understand the philosophy, what we really want to achieve. And Coach Eric Corey had a scout. He did a great job preparing for game one, game two, but also everybody chips in. You know, Coach Pat Delaney, who is responsible for defense, and Jama for offense, always coming with good ideas and suggestions. And I think this mini playoff series was a good test for us to see what it's going to look like for us when we play playoff series, and what we can learn and how we can get better. And I'm also proud of the guys. You know, we go in our shoot-arounds, and we plan for 10-15 minutes of film and talk, and then we end up talking for like 30-35 minutes. And it's not coaches talking, it's actually players, and they're owning it and asking questions and helping each other. So a lot of positive stuff going on there, and really proud of the guys and how they reacted to both games, especially in game two.
You've frequently spoken about how much Scottie can do out on the basketball court. Obviously, a lot of it is showing up when in these last few games, depending on who you're playing, you know, soaking up possessions against Bankero, or when Jalen Johnson went out, all of a sudden he's blocking a bunch of shots at the rim. Is he playing any differently, or are the results just changing around him and he's doing what he does?
I think Scottie is constantly improving. He's a player that is very ambitious. He's a winner, he's a competitor, and he has amazing drive. He's always finding the ways to improve his game, and also he's really learning what it takes to be a leader of a team and to be a franchise player, and he's doing an outstanding job doing that. At this age, he's our true leader, and we go as far as Scottie Barnes goes. The way he sets the tone, the way he plays defense, the way he's sharing the ball, it's raising the level for everybody else. You know, he's doing an outstanding job talking in our huddles and timeouts. Really proud of him and of the work that he's putting in, and now the results that we're seeing. And with all that being said, I think we're not even close of seeing the best version of Scottie Barnes. I think that he's going to be outstanding with the time and work that he's putting in.
So I think a lot of skeptics would hear you say he's a winner, and they would say, well, look at how the team has done for the last few years, and we both know that the reasons extend beyond Scottie Barnes, and sometimes he didn't play. But when you say he's a winner, what do you think of the most in terms of that?
Yeah, so in NBA and in any league, like NBA has the best players in the world. Best players in the world play in this league. And you have very talented players, then you have potential, guys that are showing potential. And then you have two categories. You have a competitor, guys that show up every single night, but when it comes to winning moment of the game, they're not really there. And then you have winners who are going to do everything in their power to help the team win. And sometimes that's not going to the outcome is not going to be always the win, but they're willing to do any sacrifice that it's needed. Is that blocking a shot? Is that getting a deflection when you need it? Is that getting a bucket when you need it? Is that to make the right play and just not shoot some shots and allow your teammates to make the play? Scottie is all about that. And he is only 23 years old. And when this guy, in next couple of years, when he continues putting this type of work and intention into work, we're going to be talking about one of the best players in the league.
You came into this season talking about prioritizing process and development over results, but I'm wondering how much those two are tied together. How much easier do you think it is to develop in a competitive environment than, say, like a few weeks ago when you guys were in that rough patch?
We had very competitive environment to start the season.
Yeah.
We did not win a lot of games, but we were in very competitive environment for like 30-plus games. We were, pretty much in every single game we were in it. and that really gave us ammunition to continue staying on the path and really putting the work in. We did have like 2 weeks of rough patch, and there are multiple reasons for that. I'm not the one looking for excuses at any point of time. But what even happened in those moments, our group stayed together. And our group is really showing up every single day to work and try to help each other and to figure out how we can improve as a team and all guys individually. So as a result of that, lately we're seeing better performances, wins. Of course, when you win, you have that positive, feeling and like new energy that tells you we're on the right path. We just gotta continue doing this. And we're at this part of the season now that it's January. Everybody's like thinking all-star break and whatnot, but our team is so focused right now and so competitive that we're just taking it process, just like you said. We're just taking it one game at a time and trying to improve one game at a time.
I would imagine from an evaluation standpoint, too, you guys are probably getting more out of these competitive games and learning more about your team in competitive games than you would have been a few weeks ago as well. Is that accurate? Or
I mean, find me one team that does not have a stretch of 2-3 weeks they're not playing well. You look at the roster of several great teams in the league, and maybe they're not playing the best basketball right now. It's impossible to maintain throughout the whole season to have that. So, when you get in that rough patch, how you going to react? What is your mentality day to day is going to be? What you're putting in, knowing that you might not see the results right away, but knowing at the same time that the results are going to come as a product of that work. So it's very, very important to be in competitive situations and competitive games, and learning how to close the games when you're in those situations in close games. Learning when you have a 10-point lead start of the fourth quarter, how to make that like 15 or 16 or 17-point lead instead of allowing the other team to come back. So all of those things for our team are very, very valuable, and we're going through all of those learning experiences right now.
Darko, about today's event, how important is it to share your expertise with coaches that are coaching the younger generation that might eventually be drafted, and what have you been talking to? Unfortunately, we couldn't stay longer, but what kind of questions were you getting from the coaches?
I think that we're really blessed over here in Toronto and in Canada that we have a lot of people that really care about basketball. There was 850 coaches there. They did not have to be here on a cold Sunday morning. They could do something else, but they decided to show up over here and to listen to coaches from our staff and medical and performance, and Dana, our sports psychologist, and try to learn. And that tells me a lot about the future of basketball in Canada. And all of those kids, they're practicing basketball, they're in great hands. That people were there, they really care, and they really love this sport. So the future of Canadian basketball is in great shape. All we try to do is to share some of the stuff that we're working on and how we see player development, importance of it, and what are some main postulates of how to develop players. So we really talked about it, and we tried to talk about topics that can help those coaches to help their players.
And in Europe, there are like structures in place in soccer and different sports to identify young talents and help them, have a direct path, develop their skills, and have a direct path to professional sports. Canada is a bit different. I feel like it's maybe not as evolved. Can you compare both systems and maybe what needs to be done in Canada to make the sport better and just like the development of players better?
I mean, investment in education of coaches is very, very important. In Europe, in order to be a basketball coach, you gotta finish education for basketball coach. It's a 3 years education college. Without that, you're not allowed to coach the team and call timeouts and do anything. So you gotta get education and be to get the education on anatomy, biomechanics, and sports psychology, and all those things, sociology, all those things that come before learning X and O's of the game. So I think that that's something that is very important, and I think that that's something that Canada basketball needs to think about, how to help those coaches to raise the level of their overall knowledge and then knowledge. I think that's very, very important, and that's going to help you young players develop faster and better, and on a plan that's going to exist, not just randomly happening this way or that way, but actually there's going to be plan in place.
You mentioned being proud of the way the team stayed connected through some of the struggles. How or why do you think that was? How was this team able to stay connected? Because let's be honest, 8-31, 16 of 17, you lose. Like, there are a lot of teams that would have let go of the rope.
Because we are focused on process, and because we are focused on development, and we are focused on things that we control. We did not control a bunch of injuries that happened to us early in the season. We did not control outside effect of schedule. First 20 games played against extremely good teams. We did not control those things, but what we do control is our mentality, our effort. Are we going to be good teammates? Are we going to treat people around us the right way? I think our guys spending quite a bit time over the course of summer together was very, very important. All the guys showed up in Las Vegas for Summer League, stayed a couple of days there playing pickup ball, and just keeping those touch points during the summer are very, very important for them to create that chemistry. When we go to our team dinners, we're trying to keep cell phone away, so actually they can talk to each other and connect, and not be like you guys holding the phones and not talking to each other and just scrolling on TikTok and X, right? I'm just joking, but the point.
That's fair.
Yeah. But my point is there is a human component there that we're really trying to stress with our guys, how important it is for them to be connected and to care about people around them.
Darko, do you have an update on IQ at all?
IQ, he was not able to go through practice today. He had a really good day yesterday. For them today was planned to have a lighter day, so we'll see how he's going to body react, how he's going to feel tomorrow.
And Kelly?
Kelly's progressing really well. He's literally day to day at this point. I don't know if he's going to be available for tomorrow or for Washington game, but it's not significant. No.